Yes guys, how's it going? Welcome back to a new video. Hope you guys have all enjoyed your Monday on this lovely sunny day in Newcastle. Absolutely boiling. I thought I'm going to come out here, sit in the sun and talk to you guys about James Maddison. That's right, at the risk of repeating myself and repeating last summer, to be honest, Newcastle are currently, according to a lot of reports today, leading the race to land the signature of the 26-year-old England international this summer. I should say, by the way, if you don't recognise me, it is Rob. I've shaved all my beard off and had a haircut because it was so hot this morning, I couldn't bear it. But it means we can sit here, enjoy the heat, and as I say, talk about James Maddison. Now, I've mentioned it already, the reports have been rife that Newcastle would be back in for him this summer window. We've seen it before, a few times. Eddie Howe's got his list. Eddie Howe's magical, wonderful list. Him and Dan Ashworth pick the players they like. You talk about skill, you talk about ability. I think a lot of it for Eddie Howe is that behind the scenes. It's the changing room, it's the mentality, it's the players he wants to bring in. And it's clear to see that Maddison is one of those players that they are both very, very keen on. Because of that, we chased him throughout most of last summer. We were linked in the January, but it's understandable that Leicester wanted to try and keep one of their best players, or if not their best player, to try and stay in the Premier League. The tables are turned. Leicester's gone down, and now they're looking to move him on. Just 1 year left on his deal. Now, it was reported that Newcastle actually placed two £50 million bids this time last year, which Leicester rejected both of. So despite the fact that he's got 1 year less on his deal, he's 1 year older. I would say, despite, in fairness, scoring 10-ish goals in the season, I think got 8 or 9 assists, so 20, goal contributions in a season, still pretty good. But he was still in a relegated side, so I would say, a year older, relegated side, 1 year less on his deal. Leicester still want 50 million. Leicester are still sticking to the guns. They want to try and get as much money for this lad as possible. And there is actually a big reason behind why maybe Leicester's asking price is higher than potentially it should be, which we'll come on to in a moment. But one of the reasons they're asking for more money is because they know they can. Because he's a good player, because he has a name people are very, very aware of. He's well established in the Premier League. And because of that, it's not just us who are interested. Spurs were the team this time last week who were reported to be winning the race for Maddison. This week, at the start of this week, on the Monday, it's Newcastle who are set to be winning the race. Now, if I had to give my thoughts on it, it would be that Maddison wants to go to Newcastle, Leicester want Maddison to go to Spurs. And it's plain and simple to see why. Maddison's a player who, I've no doubt, wants Champions League football. That's something that we are able to offer this season. Not just European football, Champions League football. Spurs can't offer any European football at all. However, we saw this last summer. Leicester wanted 50 million. We were bidding around that. They wanted slightly more. This time round, they are reported to want 50 to 55 million. Newcastle really only want to put up 40, 45. Spurs, the side who can't offer Champions League football, can't offer Eddie Howe as a manager who has been fantastic in improving players. James Maddison wants European football. He wants to play under a manager who's going to make him better. He wants to play in a side that clearly are having the time of their lives. They're playing in a stadium where the fans are absolutely loving it. Spurs, on the other hand, haven't been great this season. They've just brought the new manager in. Is Harry Kane even going to stay? Leicester want him to go to the team where they get more money. James Maddison, it's being reported today, wants to go to Newcastle United. And the fact we've been in for him for over a year. That's going to mean something to him. He's looking at these guys are putting in the effort. I'm in training with Callum Wilson and Trippier over on international duty. You have no doubt the pair of them probably telling him to come in. Be interesting though what the conversations between Maddison and Harry Kane are like. Is Harry Kane saying to him, don't go there, because I'm not going to be there. I'm not going to be there by the time you get in. I know they've got the new manager in who, has a chance to prove himself at Spurs. It's been, I don't really want to speak out of term over a club that isn't mine, but a bit of a poisoned chalice at Spurs. Like, the managers have gone in there and have struggled. It'll be interesting to see how the new guy gets on going in there. Can he hold on to Harry Kane? And it's a new man, and in fairness to Spurs, they should back the new manager. They should say to him, look, just go out, here's 60 million, go and pay it. You know, Maddison's a very, very good player, but the thing is with Newcastle, the FFP, and I think just being sensible, as much as as I've said a million times, we have the money, but if we go out there and start going, yep, buy him for that, the next time we'll want to buy someone, they'll be like, 55, 60, 70, 80 million, you know. If we go out there and just start splashing the cash, you never get any good deals. And we've seen it before with Chelsea, and you know, you look at Man City winning all these cups, and Manchester United fans saying, well, you've bought the league. And then you look at the fact that Man United have actually spent more money than Man City have over the last 5 or 7 or 8 years or whatever it is. So just going out and spending money doesn't equal success. And if we are trying to be careful with how much we spend this summer, immediately overpaying isn't going to help us. It's strange because although Szoboszlai has a release clause of about 60 million, it's thought that he could be available for, 35, 40 million, which is kind of dropping him into the same bracket as a Maddison is. And if that's the case, and Leicester want to rip our eyes off, or more worryingly for me, not necessarily ripping us off, but making it go on all summer. And I didn't mention why it's thought that Leicester are really pushing hard to try and get that 50 million, if not more. It's because Maddison has a 15% clause in his contract that money goes to Norwich, where he came from. So 15% of what Leicester actually get for Maddison this window goes straight off to Norwich. And if Leicester are trying to, recoup, rebuild this summer, heading into a championship season, they're really going to try and push it to make sure that they are getting what they value him as. They're almost trying to get us and Spurs to overpay, so that overpay goes off to Norwich and they can keep as much as they want. But yes, I think it's good news. I think the reports coming out today, I think the Telegraph was saying that Newcastle are in conversation right now and are slowly progressing the contract talks. I think it's slow because, well, first of all, Maddison's not even there. He's on international duty, so he's going to struggle to write something down when he's not even in the room. But I think that Leicester will probably be trying to play the two off against each other. And as I've mentioned before, it doesn't surprise me for a second that if the reports are true today that Maddison wants to go to Newcastle. I mean, black and white specs off for a moment. You know, we're the team with European football and the team that's been chasing him for a while. I also totally understand why Leicester probably want him to go to Spurs, because that's where they get more money. And that's the question, how long are Leicester going to allow this to rattle on for? Because fair enough, if we go 45, Spurs go 60. Leicester go, well, you're going to go to Spurs. And Maddison's going, no, I'm not. Right, now how many days of the summer window are we going to have to sit here and wait to find out that Leicester have been holding out all that time because they wanted them to go for more money? We really need Leicester to just say, okay, go, it's fine, 45, 50, that's fine. I'll go back to Newcastle and look, you can wait all summer and we'll try and sell them to Spurs and waste loads of time, or just give us the extra 5 million and we'll sign the deal up. It's still 10 million less than Spurs, but we'd rather get it done now. And I'm hopeful one thing Newcastle could also do, and we saw this with the Anthony Gordon deal, we moved a few things around to make it happen, is have the cash up front. I think that's one of the things that I've no doubt Leicester will be really keen on. And if we're able to release a bit of funds like that to do the deal there and then, it would be big. But yeah, that's the big news coming out today on this lovely sunny day. The transfer window officially opens later this week. How good would it be for this, as I've said, reported by the Telegraph, the contract that is in negotiation right now could be done later this week. And that's with the player. What happens with the club and whether they let him go for less than what they potentially expect, it's an interesting one. And I still, as much as people are saying, reporting today that it's close, and as much as I want to jump on it and enjoy it, I still just think when there's another club interested, especially one who will probably have to just throw money at it, it's always going to put our deal in doubt. Because if they find out, oh, he's going, right, our next fight, 65, we want him more, Leicester are going to listen to that. So it might be tough. But you let me know your thoughts on the Maddison down below. Let me know if you think it is truly as close to being done as some of the reports are saying today, or do you think this could well go on that little bit longer? I've mentioned that a few times as well. Getting deals done early this summer is going to be key for us. I think it's a big season with a big Premier League season with a Champions League and the hope for, I would love to go back to Wembley and some cup runs. It's good enough. It's good to bring in 3, 4 players, but doing them all 2 days before the season starts is tough. Doing it now and giving them a great pre-season would really help us kick off in a good way. All right, guys, let me know your thoughts down below on Newcastle now reportedly leading the race and being close to getting Maddison in through the door. Thank you for watching, guys. Subscribe if you haven't already. Drop a like, and I'll thank you, and I'll catch you later.